This week's parsha, Parshas Ki Seitzei, the Torah tells us about the isur of Shatnez. Yep, in Parak Chav Beis, Pasuk Yud Aleph, Lisilba Shatnez Tzemer Pishtem Yachtav. It's also brought down in the Torah in Vayikra, in Parshas Kedoshim, Parak Yud Tes, Pasuk Yud Tes, Eschu Koisai Tishmoiru, Behem Tchalei Sarbia Kalayim, Sod Chalei Sizra Kalayim, Ubege Kalayim Shatnez Le'alo Lech. So what's the reason why the Torah asked Kalayim? So Rashi in Kedoshim, Rashi says that the pasuk starts off Eschu Koisai Tishmoiru. Rashi is actually quoting a Torah's Kayin in from Achrei Mois. The Torah's Kayin is in Achrei Mois Perek Gimel Yud. That since it says Eschu Koisai Tishmoiru, Chukim Melu Gzeris Melech She'ein Tam L'Davar, that there's no tam. That's how Rashi's mefarish in Kedosh. However, there are many taimim given. I want to discuss those taimim and maybe give a new shot in why Kalayim is also. There's one tam that's brought down in both the Medrash Tanchuma says it and the Pirkei D'Reb Eliezer says it. The Medrash Tanchuma is in Breishis Ois Tes, and Pirkei D'Reb Eliezer is in Perek Chav Aleph. The lashon of the Pirkei D'Reb Eliezer is Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha Omer Al Yisarvu Minchas Kayin and Hevel Lo'olam Shem Achas Hashem Afilu Be'ereg Beged, which means like this: that we know that Kayin and Hevel, they split up the world. Kayin had growing things, and Hevel had livestock, and since there was the terrible incident that happened between them, so Hashem said that we have to keep separate Kain's carbon, which was the seeds of Pishtan, which were flax seeds, and Hevel's carbon, which was from animals. That's the Medrash Tanchuma. It's brought down in the Zohar also. That's one time. However, many Rishonim continued to give other pshatim. There's the Ramban pshat, where Ramban seems to say that it's an extension of the isur of Kalayim, where the isur of Kalayim of Kalayim, that you're not allowed to be markiv, you're not allowed to graft together or put together two animals. The Eibishter wanted that his creation should continue, and what he created should is good enough, and it's the way it should be, and he doesn't want that to change. And not only that, the Eibishter, that if we're gonna have it would seem that if we're gonna make begadim of these two minim, so then people are gonna come to putting them together, and therefore we don't want any arkava, and this is part of not having an arkava, keeping HaKadosh Baruch Hu's creations pure and the way he made them. That's the Ramban's mahalach. The Rambam says that this was the derech. There was some sort of a very nice, pretty beged that the kohenim, the priests of the Bali Keshafim, of the those that did witchcraft in Mitzrayim, and we want to stay away from that. And to stay away from that, we don't have their kind of beged. Why exactly they had a beged made out of Kalayim, out of Shatnez, I don't know. There's another pshat that's brought down. Others bring down that the reverse. We know that Kalayim is mutter in Big Day Kuna, and therefore, and since it's mutter in Big Day Kuna, and it's something that's obviously special. Right? Big Day Kuna made out of Tcheles, Agaman, Kalashani, which are all, which is blue wool, purple wool and red wool, and then the sheish is linen. So since that was reserved for Big Day Kuna, and we can't, common folk can't have it. It's only reserved for Big Day Kuna and for tzitzis. That's another mahalach. I was thinking like this. We know a lot about the characteristics of tzemer and linen, right? Tzemer, wool, comes off the animal, so it's normally used for the animal as a coat. Linen, on the other hand, is not from an animal. It grows, right? So there's a stalk that grows, and the inner part of that stalk, the outer part of the stalk is like a harder shell. They let it sit in water, and it decays and falls off. And the inner stalk, the part where the water goes up, that's the fiber that becomes the linen. They spin it, and that becomes the linen threads that they can make a beged with. The characteristics of linen and the characteristics of wool are very, very different in three aspects. Linen, since it's a stalk, it's part of something that's the water is supposed to go up. It's supposed to go up to the top of the linen plant, of the flax plant. It absorbs water very well. Linen absorbs water very well. Also, it does not. It doesn't catch a dye well. In other words, it can't be dyed. Until recently, all linen clothing were always white. Now they have it a little bit, somewhat of a dye, or maybe today with synthetic processes they can make it even a complete dye. But it's not dyed. Linen clothing are always light colored or white. That's the second thing. And the third thing is that linen is not necessarily very heavy or warm, right? So linen, again, it absorbs well. It's not colored, and it's not warm. So linen is perfect for an undergarment, for a beged zayef, something that absorbs sweat, an undergarment. Linen is the perfect candidate. Whereas wool has the reverse characteristics. Wool is on an animal. It's supposed to keep him warm, and it's supposed to repel the water. It's supposed to keep water off him. So wool does not absorb liquid well. It captures a dye beautifully. The nicest begadim are made out of tcheles, agama, telashani. All begadim, all nice dyed begadim are made out of wool, and it's warm. So by definition, a linen beged should be your undergarments, the big day zayah, and the outer garments should be the big day tzemer. The perfect thing for an undergarment is something that absorbs well. It doesn't. There's no reason to dye it. It's not there for any niceness or for any prettiness, and it's and it doesn't have to give you any warmth. The wool is the reverse. Wool is the outer garment. You don't want it to absorb any sweat. You don't want it to absorb anything. You want it just to give you warmth and to be pretty. Yeah, we have the Gemara in Shabbos tells us about wicks. That wicks that grow are good for wicks. Fibers that grow are good for wicks because they absorb. But fibers that don't grow are not, like wool, since they don't grow. Something that's not so mech does not absorb well, and since it doesn't absorb well, it's not good for a beged zeh. It's not good for something to absorb sweat. So first of all, it's unbelievable. I mean, the hashkacha of how Hashem made the world. It's fascinating to see how the Eibishter prepared everything for us. He prepared for us the linen in its exact, for undergarments exactly what we need, and for the overgarments exactly what we need. And that's something to appreciate. maybe the isur of Shatnez is that Hashem said, don't try to make a beged and have both together. Why would you do that? Because you want to have both. You want to have warmth. You want to have niceness. And on the other hand, you want to, you need a beged zeh. You need something to absorb the sweat. Hashem doesn't want that. He wants that the Klal Yisrael should be pretty. Klal Yisrael should be nice. Klal Yisrael should be respectable. Klal Yisrael should the Bechir Shabu Ummah should be a Ummah that's presentable. And we shouldn't have a beged. Our outer garments should also be connected to inner garments. The definition of the word lining comes from linen. It would seem that there was times when at least by the Goyim, they would put in a lining, they would put in a linen into their jacket to get an absorbent beged under the jacket. There was definitely times where there used to be attachments to a jacket for the neck and for the sleeves. That's the place where a person sweats the most, and that would be made out of linen. For this reason, because the outer beged, they wanted something warm and pretty and not necessarily absorbent, but for the inner beged or for a place where a person sweats, that they wanted to be a beged zeh. Hashem says no. Klal Yisrael was special. Klal Yisrael should come across without any. Don't do this. Don't try to put them together. Klal Yisrael should have the inner begadim. The inner begadim are the inner begadim. They're made out of linen, and then the outer begadim they're made out of wool.